head screams so loud. Never know what they're talking about.
On stage especially. And he's going to be up against Ruin, who just got a little bit of a warm-up game in their victory just earlier today. But he's now showing us a little bit more fun with the Singed in the top lane. And look at that, the Dark Seal start as well. So we're probably looking at a Dark Seal into a Corrupting Potion, just endless sustain. And it is going to be running the Aftershock as well. So after the fling, he'll get really tanky.
Yeah, just kind of trying to ignore Renekton, and as we heard from Lolo and Mike talking about the champ select, certainly top lane seems like a potential hotbed for action on the FlyQuest side, so wouldn't be too surprised to see some aggression there, although I do spot CLG Academy trying something creative. They've moved Auto and Colin up through top lane for this invade.
Singed could always flash toss you.
Ooh, Colin, this is very sneaky. Now gonna get spotted, so I think Revenge kind of smelling something was up. CLG, the organization, known for a lot of creative invades.
And Moon is also known for a lot of Evelynn. This is his signature pick, but he's been playing this long before the rework, so we're curious to see what he does with it, because like we heard from Mike Young and Lorlo, she terrorizes solo queue.
But we are going to be back into the game. FlyQuest have counter-invaded here under CLG, and Tuesday is taking some damage.
Look at Moon, he's out of position.
Forced to flash. Binding is not going to connect, though.
And flash. There should be no reason why he's okay. And, well, we've already started a match with Singed being so obnoxious with the pushing them. We actually swapped the lanes, too. We have Corki in the top lane. I think this is to make a better matchup against the Singed. I love what Ruin is doing here. This is really fun.
Yeah, we thought about proxying, but this is like a straight-up
jungle
invade. In fact, Ruin running around, getting what he can, but still just running interference here onto Max. He's still only level 1. Gonna keep trying to fight here. Has to dodge the W, does do so, but Ruin too far forward. What are you doing? Just straight up dive to Maxi.
You get the FlyQuest chance in the audience, and yeah, first blood, hey, it counts on the board, so you gave away a free kill to Maxi, and now he's 1 kill up, even farther ahead of Moon.
Well, Ruin does have boots, so I guess he can run back to the top lane a little bit faster, but as you mentioned, lane swap has happened here, so Renekton versus Qiyana, a very different matchup here in mid lane.
That's probably pretty good for Renekton being able to withstand Qiyana's all-in, and simultaneously be one of the strongest matchups at all-inning yourself, not running that Conqueror instead of going for the Pressy attack, which does give him quite a bit of early trading power without having to worry about proccing those 5 auto attacks or spells with the Conqueror.
In general, it feels like when you're a high mobility champion, Renekton pretty good at shutting a lot of that down with the stun, and there's Revenge going in, looking for the solo kill, will force the flash out of Tuesday, but does not collect the kill.
It's important to remember that Renekton's W will pretty much instantly trigger the Pressy attack, increasing bonus damage from all sources because it's 3 auto attacks, and that's what Renekton's W technically counts as. So it's a really good job by him, and he's not going to take any tower shots.
Yeah, Tuesday actually forcing away as Ruin and Strumpus still back at it. Strumpus trying to get the shots down, but no fling comes forth there for Ruin as Maxi fancies a second blood here as well, perhaps. Does get the knock up there. Ruin going to be forced to flash. Good fling as well, and this time he'll get out safely.
Not asleep. He is not asleep. Still playing this game, and actually does hit that dance right at the end, part of the animation, but we'll have to use that teleport to get back into the lane. And meanwhile, this is a gank that Moon is going to pull off, but we'll see if the charm actually connects. Because without being stealth, the second you press that charm, Ari and JJ will just back away. And when Colin positions this far forward, I think it's a giveaway for FlyQuest's bottom lane that they are in danger.
Yep, see how long Moon wants to try and make this one work. They are going to go in for it. Moon going to start things up. They get the first knock up there onto JJ. Charm going in. JJ going to be the target. They will look to grab it. There it goes. Moon able to grab that first kill.
Ooh, and that was really well done by CLG's bottom lane. Dancing back and forth, teasing Ari and JJ to come a little closer, and Moon does a good job in not giving himself away, but the end of the story is that Lux will not actually miss a whole lot, and in fact, Ari will get all of that experience by himself, so the Ezreal's going to be happy about this.
Yeah, Ari will do what he can to clear out the rest of the minions, but as CLG Academy will take the back here in bot lane. Maxi finally back down to this side of the map, going to clear red and then the Krugs. but too late to prevent Moon's initial gank. You don't often see that, man. Pre-6 Evelyn action as Ruin is starting things off. Apparently the crowd likes it, but we'll talk about that in a moment as we watch this gank again.
Let's see what the positioning is. Yeah, JJ really far up, and then he does not flash this, so the second that he gets knocked up, he's usually going to go down. The aftershock is just not going to be enough to keep him alive this early on.
But as we can see before, I can see sort of red missing ping there towards Ruin. It was at least giving some information, but we said this already. We heard this kind of from the cooldown as well, but proxy singed.
And so what are the consequences of having your Singed do this 24/7? You're shoving in the lane, and so the top laner of FlyQuest is applying zero pressure. He's grounded in his tower. He can't go anywhere, whereas Singed has access to the bottom blue side jungle, which means that he knows where Maxi is, and that forces Maxi to leave that side and go for either an invade or ganks in mid and bottom, which then leave... I love how excited they are to just see this.
Well, level 6 now for Sim, so even more difficult to potentially get a kill, although a dive is brewing here in mid. Maxi not 6, but Tuesday going to be the target. Gets the first knockout, Revenge finds the stun, Permafrost, easy! As JJ able to pick that up.
And that's a big dive. It's going to yield some plays. Speaking of, already 3 taken down in the bottom lane, which is quite surprising as the CS differential is the same.
The cheering continues, and so does Ruin's Expedition here in the top lane. Oh, actually going to go take the fast way back to base. I like that.
Quick. It's not actually faster. It's already 16 seconds. It'll take you 8 seconds to base, and by the time you'd be back, so it's the quickest in that it takes the least effort, I guess.
That's true. Some sort of efficiency, maybe not quite the one you're looking for, but does get back, of course. Doesn't give kill credit over.
And look at that, he's almost about to take 1 play in the top lane just from the minion wave continuing to crash. So what happens is that Corki can't tank the creep wave, so the creeps are dealing damage to the tower every single wave, which passively is building that up. And I think that Ruin is actually most likely going to stay laning here, proc that Demolish, and get some plays of his own. So the Singe, or Proxy Singe, doing a lot of work for CLG.
Yeah, it does have to be near the plate in order to get it. And of course, right now, he's been playing very far away from that tower. So curious to see if he sticks around maybe for this next incoming wave to pick up that extra gold. CLG, though, deciding that, all right, well, if Ruin's going to have all this pressure in the top lane, we're going to make sure, after pushing out their bottom lane, that we can take this Drake in an early mountain from. I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, absolutely. But the early mountain will really just help you out in taking those early tower plays. So you need to get ahead and apply pressure to the map. Otherwise, you're not getting value out of that. Mountain Dragon is not the best in a position where you're behind. It just accelerates when you're ahead.
Ruin may very well be back to his old tricks. You can see the missing thing from FlyQuest Academy. But Ruin back to lane for now as good dodge there from Revenge onto the incoming empowered Q there by Tuesday, who is doing okay here in the lane. But Revenge still pretty significantly ahead in CS. Curious to see kind of how that lane plays out. Moon up here in the top side though, now level 6. There's the charm, grounded there. There's the charm landing in for Moon after the Valkyrie, and that'll be a kill. Moon able to get his 2nd of the game.
He found the Q because the Valkyrie was so obvious where he was going to low. It's a straight line. You're not going to be able to flash in the meantime. So Moon with the first level 6 gank of the game, and now he's off to a tremendous start. This really is the solo Q Evelyn being embodied in pro play because he didn't rush the jungle item. He went for that Dark Seal early on. And already at 4 stacks, his DPS is much higher than what Sejuani can do.
To see the binding hit auto, so it did force him to use the Featherstone. As Maxi with an AD mid laner, and Ruin being preoccupied in the top lane. Able to take, sorry, Stromber's being occupied, able to take that blue buff for himself.
Hey, he's got plates. There's 3 plates left in the top lane. Look at that. There's so much damage done to this tower that I'm surprised we're not seeing a bounty yet. It's a 700 gold lead from the Singed over the Corki. He's 0-2, gifting away a first blood a la someday.
Tuesday gonna grab the ice there, but with the Revenge going back again, just looking to wave clear things up. Does have a blasting one now for Ruin, so even faster for him to clear through these waves. Again, doesn't seem particularly interested in interacting with Stormpest very often.
There's a ton of builds that go around with Singed, but the first item, or most consistent item, seems to be the Rhyolite Crystal Scepter, slowing people down while they are chasing you, and then followed by a Leandris, increasing that damage over time.
Finding again, attempt there from JJ, who's hiding around the side there in Fog of War, but Auto and Colin just continuing to push out. CS even between the two dual lanes, so they're pretty happy with where they're sitting. And unfortunately, Ruin, I think now that Strumpet is a little bit more efficient at pushing his waves out, is forced to play in the actual lane, and not where he wanted to be.
He has to be so careful because of Singe's interaction with W. If you haven't watched competitive play or played Singe for a while, it's kind of bringing you up to speed. His W is essentially a silence on the ground right away. It's kind of like Cassiopeia's W. So the second that Singe were to proc that on top of the Corgi, he can't use bounces, so he has to respect the range. He has to respect the flash flip from Ruin, and as a result, he's playing far back. But now we're getting a TP play. Is Ruin going? Yes,
wrap around here. There's Colin gonna dive in, popping that ulti, moving to look for that first kill. Eri already dead there to the Rakan. Featherstorm after the tower tanking is nice as Ruin able to pick up a kill for himself.
Renekton is coming down, and Sejuani is here, so they might try to make a move to save this tower and get the most out of that tower shot. And CLG will just respect it.
Yeah, commit the teleport though to make sure they can finish off the tower and get the 2 kills. Very nice dive there from CLG Academy as Ruin really wants that final plate. Nice goop right in front of him though. To actually maybe turn it around here. A TP in from CLG Academy. They're going to take the turret, maybe look for more. That's Auto coming back in, and now Ruin wants to try and find a flip here. JJ's roaming back up off the respawn. Tuesday also roaming down. Good flash from Auto out of the Sejuani ulti, but Ruin stunned up in the front side. Rooted as well by the Lux binding. Ulti out from Tuesday's going to get a follow-up stun. He gets his first kill of the game. And now Eri trying to chase in. The double there for Kiana as Ruin will finally be felled as Eri able to collect that kill. Now forced to flash out, but they may continue to chase here under the tower, but no dive force coming.
Ruin is playing Singe masterfully, and FlyQuest is forgetting the #1 rule of League of Legends. You just don't chase Singe. He is playing you like a fiddle, and while he's 1, 3, and 2, they just secure that first brick, and then the top lane, Strumpet has yet to take the first plate of his lane. This could not be going better for CLG, and I have to wonder, where has this CLG been all along? It's the
one of them's been playing in the LCS,
right?
We'll watch this one again. Auto knows what's happening, does flash the first ulti.
And it's fine because Kiana, while her ultimate does not connect, still has a ton of damage and crowd control, which she gets into the mix. And Eri does have to commit a few spells to get that final kill.
Yeah, I think actually had to flash for that last Q. So it gets the kill, but has to run straight back to the turret.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Where has they been? Ruin's been playing the LCS.
But FlyQuest trying to answer here on the top half of the map, looking to take the Rift Herald down.
No respect for Moon, by the way. Rushing Medjai's first item. So this is a very confident Evelyn.
You said he was bringing a solo queue to pro play. I think this is appropriate, although perhaps not at all levels.
I think it can be, because if you get too used to a certain meta or a certain playstyle, you end up looking down at the solo queue style. You end up thinking, oh, it's a fiesta, there's no coordination, doesn't make sense, but you always get surprised.
Nice binding, follow off instantly there as Tuesday, who just barely gets away from that with that flash. But the Rift Herald charges in, the rest of CLG trying to turn it back around. That's grounding there onto the Ezreal, but another binding is a great recombo from Colin. He's going to combo it all the way through. That's 2 kills already, make it 3 there. As Tuesday able to pick a few up for Revenge, does get in, exactly that, and take down the Kiana. CLG, they're still on the chase, getting flipped back there. Now Revenge has to be forced to fight 1v3, not going to live to tell the tale. CLG Academy continuing to play aggressive.
That was a really great collapse because CLG burned so many of their cooldowns to try to get onto Tuesday, but did not account for the fact that CLG could collapse. And by taking the fight right away, they're down abilities, so CLG has a big, maybe 5 to 10 second lead on many of the spells, particularly the Lux Binds. Without the Lux Binds being up, it's very easy for CLG's composition to run straight at you. That's the whole idea behind keeping Singe away. Your Lux is going to do a great job of doing that, but without Bind, it's just not going to happen. So take a look at how this went down. JJ throws the Bind, it catches Tuesday, and then you've committed how many more abilities? When the fight comes to happen, there's nothing left for FlyQuest to fight with. So Ruin has a very easy time just marching in, and Tuesday does a really nice job with a great ultimate on the side that burns their carries down.
That was actually a disgusting CC chain. As Revenge at least moves in to get a couple extra kills, but from then on, Ruin again, back ready with a flip. Making sure they get another kill.
Really good timing on Auto to dodge out of that W from Renekton. You never want to risk it against that champion. As a squishy character, it's better safe than sorry.
Game is
like real-life crocodiles, too. Better
yeah,
safe than sorry.
Exactly. Just don't go too close. As game continuing at a pretty quick pace here. CLG Academy, though, up about 3,000 gold. They did get the last strike, so picking up that cloud, but FlyQuest do finally take their first turret in mid, which is always a good one to get. However, Moon at 4-0-3 now has 15 stacks on the Magi's.
Yeah, and he might be rushing a Spellbinder with that needlessly large run just to get that extra burst. Or a Death Cap.
There are only 2 items, Crumbs.
You have all the stacks in the world, you might as well go for it, increasing your damage even further as it does amplify that percent.
I think definitely a statement purchase if nothing else, because you don't buy the item unless you are really committed to being a heavy damage dealer. They're going to look for a dive here. Tuesday, great ult there. Moon going to follow up with the charm. Execute damage is great, and there's a real execute from Moon's ulti. Make it 2 more stacks in the book.
So much crowd control out of this lineup. The Evelyn charm is really powerful. The second you land it, the targets are almost certainly going to go down. You usually see Evelyn's at the top level, not even bothered in waiting for the W to proc. They usually just throw it out and go right away because it typically is such a dead giveaway that the opponent has a heads up and then tries to outplay you.
Kiana, though, talk a lot about how good her gank assist is, I think kind of representing well there as they combine everything to get a nice clean kill onto the Renekton, who is maybe the tankiest member on FlyQuest right now. You could make an argument for Maxi, but just watch this again. Tuesday setting it all up here.
It doesn't matter that Moon is in sight. You have that nice little bar at the top to know just how much time you have before you have to press that ultimate. If you're unfamiliar again with Evelyn, that ultimate teleports you. Well, in the text it does say it blinks you away, but you are untargetable, so you can go for a lot of very creative power dive. And it is AoE execution damage, so it will scale with missing percent health. It's one of the highest damage abilities in the game. It just so happens to be on one of the squishiest champions too.
Well, damage is at least continuing to be built here. Moon has said Death Cap is where he wants to go. Nice bind there from JJ, but call in with Merc Treads, able to get out of there before the ulti can follow up.
Not just Mercs, but a QSS, so really weird. That final spark was not going to do anything to call in.
Might as well throw it out though. Not a whole lot else that FlyQuest
at the minion wave.
Moment. That's true. Oh, that's true. Some wave clear assistance as Ari and JJ keeping their mid lane outer turret up for as long as they can. Another attempt here in the top lane. We've seen a lot of 2v2s here between jungler and solo lane. Actually, I guess technically jungle and mid lane for this game, as both Tuesday and Revenge took that matchup 1v1.
Look at Evelyn's positioning on the map. She's in the bottom lane with Singed. Whoever is going to be picking up that wave of farm is about to die, and it looks like Strompest has selected his fate. Let's see if Moon and Ruin execute on this well. Look for Ruin to place his puddle down before the gank begins.
Moon currently invisible, able to walk through and see if anyone else is maybe coming through the jungle, because if somebody squishy walks through, Moon should feel pretty confident in getting a solo kill, given how much power he has currently. Ruin also has that Leandry's finish. That was his first item, joining alongside a Raptor Cloak now, and Moon just edging ever closer to the kill. Gonna force the flash. Moon instantly flashes on. Not quite enough damage to get the execute, but Ruin at least gets the turret, so kind of all works out in the end.
With the Death Cap completed, we now know that Moon is capable of one-shotting 3 out of 5 members of FlyQuest, which is very dangerous.
Nice find again, though, by JJ, who's been on point so far. Gonna force the QSS out of call-in. But, right, I mean, it's just tough to think about how you deal with so much pressure from this Evelyn. I mean, with the Ruin also having firm control of a side lane, just how much space they have in that bottom half of the map after taking 2 towers already. Going to be quite the headache for FlyQuest to try and deal with, as Maxi did see someone recalling, look for the pick, but doesn't quite land it as they have already finished their base.
Junglers don't have ultimate, but Moon still has some crowd control.
FlyQuest though looking again for that pick. Ruin not that tanky. There's the package in for Strompus, but I think you went a little too far forward. Moon going to clean him up, make it 23 stacks now.
And that engage now means that CLG get to take mid lane turret and the dragon. That's a mountain dragon, which will be the second of their game. That's going to make their Baron abilities incredible now that we're reaching the 20-minute mark.
And as I can see, Moon has actually gone back to purchase. He's decided not to upgrade the boots for now. It is the death cap already finished. 603, a 600 gold bounty there on the Evelyn, and 2 stacks away from fully reading through that tome.
And let's see what happened here. The ward catches him out, but this is just a pure misplay because they see that the recall actually did go through, and beyond that, the QSS was down, but the magic resistance is still there. Drompest getting a little overconfident, but Moon does a really good job of just lying on the outskirts. To play Evelyn, you need a really high game sense of where the opponents are going to be. Because you're stealth, you need to use that to your advantage so that you can find the pick.
And to play Singed, you go and find the opponents. Unfortunately for Rowan, he found 4 in the top half of the map, which is probably not the number he expected.
Playing Singed is the excuse to int. It's pretty straightforward. You just apply pressure, and as long as you're doing that, deaths are just a minor inconvenience.
Just short on the flash combo there from Colin. Eri just arcane shifts casually out of the way, but CLG Academy continue to grab turrets for themselves, make it 5-1 now as that gold leads balloon to about 5,000 ahead.
We're going to be starting to prep around the Baron now, but a fight breaks out.
Again, another look here, but Maxi, no assist that time for Moon. That's about the only good news.
He's not a tank, he's just a beef ball, but the fight continues.
Here comes Ruin again, back from the dead, gonna TP around. Moon getting chunked, but Ruin gonna flip somebody in. It's Eri who's absolutely dead to Tuesday. As Revenge trying to CC them up. Missed there from Colin on the W, but CLG Academy continuing to rack up kills, and they are running straight to Baron.
I am starting to see so much value in this Singed pick, especially when teams are picking the likes of Ezreal and Corki being so prevalent. The second you drop that W on them, they're running for the hills. They just have no way out, and even champions like Renekton just can't engage on you when you forbid them from using their most critical ability.
They just powered through that Baron as well. With 2 Mountain Dragons and all this damage in their lineup. Easy stuff for CLG Academy to push this game to ridiculous heights as far as gold lead goes. This is going to be a tough ask for FlyQuest Academy to try and defend.
Well, when an Evelyn is this fed, it's usually a matter of time before the game is over, and not so much until you come back against these kinds of champions, because the second that you split up, somebody's going to go down. It's almost impossible for Evelyn to not take anybody down with her. She has so much damage and so many tools to escape the fight that Maxi is going to have to do a just phenomenal job in finding Moon without dying himself, because normally you would assign the tank the role of finding Evelyn and dealing with her. But if you get charmed, she shreds your magic resistance like crazy. So it doesn't matter if you bought him R or not, which, by the way, he hasn't. He's still going to go down.
I also like that Moon is continuing to follow Tuesday around the map in the side lane, because between the two of them, we've already seen just how efficient they can be at picking up kills. So CLG really just full control of the map. We've got the duo lane in mid, the jungle and top there, in the jungle and mid, sorry, in the top lane, and Ruin just, you know, doing his thing in the bottom, in the long lane in bot.
The Renekton just used his dash, and they know that Evelyn was in the bottom lane because of that control ward in the back of the red buff camp. So FlyQuest will be playing cautiously around the bottom lane here. And it's not like Moon has not been in Ruin's lane for half the time anyway, so they're aware of what's going down, and there's a ZZ Rot to make matters worse.
Yeah, but can you stop it, I think is the question, and it doesn't really seem like it. CLG pushing in every single lane. They're going to get this inhib in bottom lane, and FlyQuest's going to have to go sooner rather than later. Good goop there from Ruin to ground Revenge, as Moon did get a decent chunk of damage out. But again, they're just kind of corralling FlyQuest back into their base, back into their fountain. There's nowhere really that they can go safely.
There is a large level lead here, and now they're escorting 3 minion waves. CLG is applying pressure like FlyQuest has never played against before.
Yeah, Moon is the same level as his solo lane. It's pretty nutty. And again, just being patient, looking to knock down another tower in mid. That inhib tower will fall. Ruin getting the Nexus turret polished up as well. FlyQuest just burning summoners left and right.
They're going to have to eventually address the ZZ Rot. These minion waves are going to get pretty big. And look at that. It's already piling into the Nexus turret for 25 minutes. FlyQuest needs to get a fight or else they're just going to lose.
Yeah, that little bug almost finished off that tower. The CLG just slowly closing the trap on FlyQuest. Haven't got the top inhibitor turret just yet, but it seems like Baron is running out. They say, you know what? We've done enough for that push.
Well, there are no cleanses on the side of CLG, so as long as Maxi, Revenge, or JJ are on the lookout, they should be able to find and engage. The targets that you go for are most likely just Tuesday, right? He has no Merc threats, he only has the Edge of Night as a defensive tool, so I think that that's who you go on.
But if Moon is there, if you guess wrong,
if Moon is there,
you guess wrong,
the game. But at this point, if you have to risk it all, is it that different from just leading out?
No, not at all. And I think FlyQuest know that, all right, when they come for our final inhibitor turret, we should probably do something about it. I mean, 2 items now for Revenge. We've got 2 items for Strumpist. Things are patching together, let's say. This Moon has found a target he likes, which at this point is anyone on FlyQuest Academy. And Maxi gets out over the wall back to safety. CLG Academy will probably correctly ignore the Ocean Drake for now. And if nothing else, if they stall out for 2 minutes longer, they can walk back and just take another Baron.
Moon also has a new stopwatch, so that's going to be
He's got to preserve the stacks.
Yeah, with Flash, he's going to be able to go for a ton of damage with the ultimate, get out, and then wait again with the stopwatch. So it's going to allow Moon to do a ton more with the Evelyn without risking those fresh 23 stacks.
Well, there's only 1 tower, actually, for CLG, for FlyQuest Academy to defend. CLG have currently taken 10. Maxi looks for the ulti, but can't quite get it. Threads the needle there between the 2 duo lanes. Ruin, though, pretty tanky, going in for the flash. There's the combo. Tuesday gets that first kill. Ruin charming through everyone in the backline. Is Order going to finish off the rest? Everybody flashing in to pick up that ace. Ruin dead, but he doesn't matter. There's Moon with a massive ult. Doesn't quite get the execute, but he'll take it. He'll stack that book up, and CLG Academy will take the Nexus.
And they did it in the way that suits them. It's one of the final games of their season, and you might as well go out having a great time. I wonder if this team could have taken this attitude a little bit sooner in the split, but hey, you did it at the end, and it stunned FlyQuest, as you can see the looks on their face.
Yeah, tough game. I mean, we heard that Evelyn a great champion when a game gets chaotic, and that one went chaotic quickly.
Level 1. It's not more chaotic than dying to the enemy jungler at level 1 without really getting anything for it.
Yeah, and again for FlyQuest Academy, still rebuilding. I think, again, you can see the talent in their individual players. For CLG Academy, a disappointing split so far, although of course they're not done yet, given how long so many of these players have been playing together in Academy. But has to feel good to get a win, especially on the stage, and that's a game Moon will remember for a long time.
It really will be. No death, 25 Magi stacks on his signature pick, and Ruin's been having a blast in Academy, playing a few of the games so far, just hanging out with the crew, getting as much English practice and team communication practice, which is what he was